Well, this is the second part of our third session. And in the second part, I wish to share with you three types of people that we find in life. We first of all find what is termed the natural person. In this particular case, the natural person is somebody who sits in control of his or her own life. They make up their own mind, they make their own choices, they do what they want to do. They are in control. Somehow certain things work out, other things don't work out, but they still stay in control. And way outside the life of that natural person, you find God is. God does not feature in his or her decision-making process. He or she is in full control, sitting on the seat of their life and doing what they want to do. The second type of person that we find, one can call the worldly Christian. The worldly Christian allowed God to come closer to him or her. They might even come to church, but notice that the worldly Christian is still in control of his or her own life, still sitting in the control seat, and God or Jesus is there, but definitely not in control. In this case, the worldly Christian might have opened the door and allowed God in, but just as far as the front door. The worldly Christian controls his or her own thing, might have some successes and some disappointments, aware of God, and sometimes might even turn to God, but doesn't give up control to God, doesn't surrender all to God. The third type of person could be called the spiritual person. The spiritual person allows God into the control seat. God is in control. God is part of the decision-making process. God is the one that leads. The spiritual person kneels at the feet of God and trusts God in everything. The spiritual person knows that God's will is the best will to be done in his or her life. And so the spiritual person trusts God. I want you to consider which of these three people best represents you. Are you the worldly person in full control of your own life and God is somewhere out there? Are you the worldly Christian? The Christian that allows Jesus in, but the Christian is still in control of his or her own life? Or are you the spiritual person, kneeling at the feet of God? Natural person, worldly Christian, or spiritual person? I believe that Christianity is growth, and it's a journey that takes you from one person to the other. I believe that we might be worldly or natural, and we are called to grow and grow to become spiritual people, trusting God in everything that we do. Someone once said, Revelation 3 verse 20, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anybody hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and I will feast with him." God knocks at our heart's door. We open the door, but we decide how far we let God into our house. Some of us have let God in. Some of us have allowed God into our lounge. Some might have allowed him into our dining room, into our kitchen. Others allow him into the whole house, the bedroom, the ensuite bathroom, And that growth process takes place as we commit ourselves to God. How far in have you allowed God? Is God in control, or are you in control? Let's spend this week just considering who is really in control of my life. Amen.